Good afternoon, everybody. Well, something very interesting in the news. And after you see my video, I guess you would have to really watch the video I'm going to talk about before you could be a judge of whether this was good parenting or child abuse. Me, I'm kind of on the fence with it. It's been running in the news. It was a mother, a grandmother, and the mother's boyfriend who videotaped the spanking and discipline of her child for 5 minutes. I think he got 60 lashes in 5 minutes. They videotaped it and put it on Facebook. They even said, you want to call DSS? Call DSS. And somebody called DSS. But the whole thing about it was they were charged, they have been arrested, they have been charged with child abuse. It says they savagely whipped Powell's young son, reportedly as punishment for acting like a gang member. Okay. What he did, what this child did, sometimes people hear the term child and they think little cute cuddly baby and little toddler and oh, they don't know any better. This was a boy, he looked like he was a young teenager maybe, or getting ready to become a teenager. A young adolescent is what he was. He had posted himself on Facebook saying that he was a gang member and he was going to be a thug and a gang member. He wasn't doing well in school. He had quit doing his schoolwork. He come to find out he was stealing. He was bragging about being a gang member, bragging about being a thug. So they made him hang on to a chair and they whooped his behind and said this is what a gang member looks like. He was crying. Well, they didn't whip him continuously like that. They'd give him a lash, another lash, another lash. He was crying. Yes, he was embarrassed. Yes, he was humiliated. While they were recording this, they told him, now empty your pockets. And he took one cell phone out of this pocket, one cell phone out of this pocket. They asked him where those phones come from. So apparently he took somebody's phones. He stole cell phones. This young now, this little boy that they're talking about, stole phones. He was acting like a thug. He was acting like a gang member. And I'm going to tell you what. Now these gang members would do more to initiate that boy than these parents did. I think they went a little too far, and the only reason I'm saying that is this. I don't think what they did, they videoed it and they put it on Facebook. I don't think they should have used all the language that they were using while they were trying to get their point across. They did a lot of cussing, and that's not getting any kind of point across at all. But as far as giving him a public spanking, public humiliation, public embarrassment, he should be embarrassed. He should be humiliated. That's showing him this is not what you do. This is not the right life for you because of the fact that, you know, if he continued on that road, he would end up going to jail. And then, who are people going to blame? They're going to blame the parents. Who are people blaming now for trying to straighten him out to keep him from going down that path? They're blaming the parents. So, I agree with the video's point of what they were trying to do, but I don't agree with the way they went about it. Like I said, all the cursing, that, you know, they didn't have to go down that road. Some people in the comments section, first of all, let me tell you the people's names. The people's names are Eudius Michelle Taylor, 42, that's the grandmother. Stefan Terrell Felton, he's 40, he's the boyfriend. He's the one that videoed the thing. And Demitria Latrion Powell, she's 28. She is the mother. So, you know, and at the same time, the man with the video camera never showed himself on camera, but he was like, he wasn't going to show himself and blah, 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 because he just spent 10 years in prison, and, you know, he made a reference at one point to being wanted for something, so, you know, he was really no better than the thug himself. It says, several people watched the video online, and then, you know, of course, they passed it around, and they're trying to keep people from posting the video. But they showed it on the news, and on the news, they showed it uncut, the unedited version, for 5 minutes. Then they asked the question, you know, do you think that this was gone too far, blah, blah, blah. Some of the news reporters said, I couldn't watch it past 10 seconds of it, and I just had to stop. I just couldn't do it. So they hadn't even started spanking him in the first 10 seconds. So nobody on the news agreed with that, but let that little thug come up and do something to their kids or rip them off, and then they're going to think different. I think the idea that the mother and the grandmother, and I'm not going to say anything about that grown man because he's done prison time himself and is still wanted, so I'm going to leave him out of the picture. I think the mother and the grandmother were trying to show him that you don't go down that path. You don't do that. You don't want to be like peer pressure. You don't need to be in that group. Be a better person. You know, you don't need to steal. And this, that, and the other. But the way that they were just, their biggest thing that I didn't agree with, like I said before, is the cursing and all the yelling that they were doing. That was kind of unnecessary too. He had to hang on that chair and get spanked. And then people said, well, you know, they shouldn't have posted it on Facebook. It was wrong that the parents posted it on Facebook. Well, he posted on Facebook that he wanted to be a thug and a gang member. So why can't they post on Facebook, you're not going to be a thug and you're not going to be a gang member because I'm trying to save you from yourself. But, you know, people's not going to look at it like that. Powell is being held in jail on $7,500 bond, and Taylor and Felton's bond was set at $8,500. Down here in some of the comment sections, now, just like this person said, Jeff Colivrat, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Anyway, he said, when people in the hood don't discipline their kids, we bitch about it. When they do, we arrest them. Go figure. It says, no wonder we've become a nation of wimps. Somebody answered to that and said 50 whips is not discipline. It's clearly child abuse. Also down here, it says, you discipline in other ways. Beating the life out of him only shows him that this is supposed to happen. That makes no sense. Whooping his ass would show him that you're on the wrong path already. That's why I'm going to whip your ass. I'm going to whip your ass to save you from yourself, to save you from the prison life, the thug life, and the gangs. Once your child is in a gang, you have lost that child. You're not going to get that child back. That child will follow that gang and do whatever that gang wants them to do, whether they want to do it or not. And it's rape, murder, robbery. It don't matter. And look at how they initiate gang members. And don't you have to be jumped into a gang? Well, I'm certainly being jumped into that gang would have hurt him a lot worse than what his mama did. Dynasty Family 00 or 00 wrote in the comment section, what I saw in this video was nothing close to abuse for what that child did. So, you know, I sort of agree with that. Like I said, I think it was a little bit too harsh, but I agree with with the message they were trying to get across. It said these parents were saving this child from himself. What he did was close to a possible death sentence in some neighborhoods. And again, it could be a death sentence. It says, how odd most of you people would look at a video of a police officer beating a gang member and not have a problem, but a parent preventing another gang member and you want them arrested. Leads me to believe that you prefer a black child in jail or dead than to have a parent correcting actions that could lead to their death or jail. Which is true. Somebody commented down here and said, what did the little boy actually do? Again, little boy. What did the little boy actually do? If she had watched the video, she would have known what the little boy actually did. She would have known that he was talking about being a gang member and a thug. She would have known that he wasn't doing his schoolwork. She would have known he stole cell phones. So, you know. Also in that room where this took place and then they posted it, there was a baby in the room. I disagree with that too. The baby should not have been in that room. The baby shouldn't have been in the room. And every now and then the man that was videoing the actual punishment was laughing a couple of times. You don't do that. You don't do that. I believe had it just been the mama and the grandmother, it would have been a lot better off than having that man in there, because that man just gets on my nerves. Somebody had even made a comment on here that it was grossly misguided attempt to get the kid back on the right track. It said what the adults have succeeded in doing is just the opposite. This kid will run to the gang life to escape his family. No, because once he sits down, it might take a while, but once he sits down and has a chance to think about this, he's going to know that his parents or his mother and grandmother love him. They're trying to save him from that kind of life. Jethro Tull said the family had good intentions, maybe went a little bit overboard, but in the end may save this boy's life. There are countless others in prisons or graveyards that probably could have used some of this. Yeah, so, you know, you would really have to go and watch the video and decide for yourself what you think about it. I mean, you know, to each his own. Like I said, I think they went a little bit overboard, but I do agree with the message they were trying to get across. And yes, I do believe in corporal punishment. I do believe children need to be spanked. I've got a whole video about that. It's called Child Discipline and Spankings. You can look that up and see if you agree or disagree with that. And leave me some comments on it. Leave some comments on here and tell me what you think. And until next time, bye-bye.